Hey everyone! Today's video is a part of the Fall into Autumn Challenge hosted by Mamma Mia, and this month's co-host is So Kate. I will have their channel links along with the playlist link down in my description box. Please check everybody out and see what everyone has made for this autumn season. A lot of people are excited for autumn to come. I love the colors and I love autumn, but I don't want summer to end. I feel so sad. We don't get enough nice weather here in Northern Ontario, and I just want this summer to keep going. No snow. No snow. My name is Tammy. This is Llamas Creations DIY. Let's start crafting. So for this first craft, it's going to be a fairly easy one. I have all these little, they're about 9.5 by 9.5 squares of fabric. They've all got sunflowers on them. And then I picked out some other fabric that I had in my stash to kind of coincide with them, go with them. So after I measured out a piece to see how big it was, I'm going to take one, flip it on the right side on the bottom where I'm looking at the wrong side, and I'm going to measure out 9.5 by 9.5 on all the pieces that don't have sunflowers on them. Draw it out with my marker, and then I'm going to cut them out with my scissors. And I do the same thing to all the ones on the right side that you see there. There's a brown one, brown polka dot, and a white one with brown polka dots on it. All those I cut out a 9.5 by 9.5 square to match all the other squares. Now, taking two that I like, I'm going to lay them down so that the right sides are facing each other, just like so. And then using some hot glue, we're going to glue around all the edges, but you're going to leave one of them open. You can use any kind of glue. I'm just using hot glue for this. Now that that's all done, we're going to flip these inside right, inside out, inside right. We're going to flip them so the nice side is sticking out. I'm just using my finger to get all those little corners out. And it's fairly easy. And then we're going to stuff it with some pillow stuffing. After that's all done, I'm going to, the edge that's still open, I'm going to fold in the sides. And then I use some little clips and clamps, and I think that's a clothes pin. And I'm going to hold it together that way until I'm able to get it all the way across. And then using some more of my glue gun, I'm going to glue it all. I just add some to one side, push it together with my fingers, and then I use a clamp to hold it there until it completely dries so I can continue along the edge. And I just keep doing the same thing. After that's done, your pillow is done. And I made 4 of these. They're super cute. I like them. They're tiny, but they're nice little accent pillows. Next craft. I have a piece of scrap wood that is 7 inches wide. And come on, Tammy. I can't see that. It's 37 inches long, I believe. I'm going to paint it with this orange paint. It's just a house paint. And then I stained the back just with some dark walnut stain to give the back a finish. Now, taking my yardstick, I'm going to measure down 6 inches. I go down on both sides, and then I also go down about 1 inch from that. I draw my line, I go down 1 inch, and then from that inch mark, I do another 6 inches, and I continue that until I have 4 squares that are 6 inches. Now going in about the width of the ruler on either side, I'm just going to lightly mark with my pencil going along, so I know where to finish and start my letters. And just using a ruler, I'm going to draw in my letters, starting with the top one, which is an F. And then I continue down my A and then my 2 L's, spelling out fall. Using a black paint marker, I'm going to go over all the lines that I need to go over for my letters. And I start with the horizontal ones first, and then I go along and do the vertical ones. And when I'm done that, I take some Java home decor chalk paint made by Folk Art, and I'm going to paint in all my letters. Just like so. Using a word that I printed off of my computer, I'm going to tape it down to my board, slide in some carbon paper, and trace over it with my pen, which will transfer my word onto my board. Then, taking various paint markers, I use a fine tip, and then I think I use just regular paint after that. I go over all my letters, just to outline them. And then all those open spots that need to be shaded in, I paint those in with my, I think it's called Rich Black Folk Art Home Decor Chalk Paint. It's a black. Using some thicker jute rope, I'm going to staple it onto the back. Wrap it around, I think 3 or 4 times. I wanted a thicker rope because this is a thicker board. Cut it off, staple it again to the back. Then, using this pretty pumpkin ribbon, I'm going to figure out how big of a bow I need. Cut that off, and then I cut off another piece for the tails. Find the center of both, add them together, scrunch them in the middle, and then using some jute rope, I wrap it around the middle a few times, tie it in the back. A little bit of hot glue in between. Trim off my little extra ends. Fix my bow. Fluff it up. Dovetail my ends. And we're going to glue it right onto the corner there. Whole bunch of hot glue, put it into place. And then I tack down the tails a little bit, but then I also grab my stapler and I staple it down as well. So that way if I put this outside, it'll stay put. Because that glue could come loose. I do another wrapping of the jute twine on the bottom, same as I did on the top. And when you're done that, this porch leaner is done. I'm actually going to put this on my mailbox because we have one of the ones that are down at the end of the yard there. So it's going to go on that. Next craft. I have 4 empty jars. Don't need the lids. I'm going to paint one with metallic copper, one with vintage mustard, one with Java, and then one with a mixture of the orange and the copper and the brown all together. Now taking some black burlap ribbon sort stuff, I'm going to measure out how much I need. Cut it with my scissors. And then we're going to hot glue it into place. Then taking this nice burlap ribbon with lace in the middle, I'm going to do the same thing in the middle of that black burlap one. And I do the exact same thing to all 4. Now I had no orange, I wanted some orange sunflowers, orangey and yellow. So I mixed up this paint here. That's the same color that's one of the jars. And I'm going to paint some white ones. Don't have them, so we're going to make them. I use that, and I use the vintage mustard one to add in a different little shades. And I do all 5 like this. Yeah, after all this was done, I happened to pick up a basket and there was a whole bunch of sunflowers in there. I was like, oh, that's all right. Good way to use up my stash. Using 4 tags that I had in my stash, I'm going to take some burnt umber paint and just rub it on, giving it kind of like a stain. I do that to all 4. If you hear barking and meowing, the cat wants out, the dog is barking. Yeah, it's not happening. Then using a black paint marker, I'm going to just write on my letters, fall. And then I use another one just to outline on the middle, just to give it a little extra something something. Using some jute twine, we're going to put it through the tag, wrap it around the top of the jar. I tie it off. And then I wrap and wrap a couple times more. And then tie it off again. A little bit of hot glue in between my tie. Trim it off. And then I use a little bit of hot glue on the back of the tag so that it stays put. With the same, oh, I didn't do that. Okay, taking some styrofoam, just that I had in my stash. I'm going to stuff it into the middle. So I had something to boost up the flowers. We're going to add in our flowers. And we're done. I love them. So pretty. And simple to make. I hope you enjoyed those videos as much as I enjoyed making those crafts for you. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget that little notification bell so YouTube lets you know every time I upload a new video. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back. So happy you're here. You're always here supporting me, and I truly, truly love that. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.